All right, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever absent-mindedly tossed a penny aside thinking, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yeah, that's right. A single 2017 D. Lincoln penny, just sitting in someone's pocket right now, is worth a life-changing fortune. Someone actually found one. Imagine digging through your car's cup holder and realizing you're sitting on a mini gold mine. Wild, right? So, today, we're diving deep into this incredible 2017 D penny. How did it become so valuable? What makes it special? And most importantly, could you be holding one right now without even knowing it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be rushing to check your spare change. First things first, what makes this penny worth more than a luxury sports car? Well, this isn't just any ordinary penny. We're talking about a rare mint error that turned a simple 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Back in 2017, the Denver Mint struck millions of these Lincoln pennies. Most of them are only worth, well, a penny. But every now and then, something special slips through the cracks. In this case, it's a rare misprint that collectors are going absolutely bonkers over. This particular 2017 D penny has a unique die error that makes it one of a kind. Instead of the usual crisp, clean strike, this coin has doubling on certain design elements, most notably on Lincoln's face and the lettering. Some versions have a dramatic off-center strike, while others have a bold, floating roof error, making them even more sought after. Minting errors occur for all kinds of reasons: misaligned dies, over-polishing, or a slip-up during the striking process. Think of it like baking cookies. You follow the same recipe, but every now and then, one cookie comes out looking completely different. Maybe it's extra puffy, maybe it's way too flat, or maybe, just maybe, it looks like Elvis. Either way, people love oddities, and in the world of coin collecting, the weirder the error, the bigger the payday. Now, let's talk money. Why is this penny worth nearly $2 million? Well, rare coins are like fine art. When collectors want them badly enough, the price skyrockets. Only a handful of these error pennies are known to exist, which makes them incredibly valuable. In 2023, one of these bad boys went up for auction, and after a bidding war that probably had some collectors breaking into a nervous sweat, it sold for $1.8 million. Imagine turning a penny into that kind of cash. It's the ultimate underdog story. Now, let me tell you a quick story that still haunts me to this day. A few years back, I was at a gas station, and I got a handful of change back. I noticed a penny that looked a little odd, had some doubling on Lincoln's face. But in my infinite wisdom, I shrugged and tossed it into one of those leave a penny, take a penny trays. Fast forward a couple of months, and I saw a coin just like it sell for thousands of dollars. I nearly flipped my dining table over. I mean, imagine handing over a fortune just because you were too lazy to take a second look. So, let my mistake be your lesson. Always check your change. So, now that we know what makes this coin so valuable, let's get into how you can find one. This coin was minted in Denver, so you're looking for a little D under the date. The most valuable ones have clear doubling, off-center strikes, or a floating roof design. Sometimes, the errors are subtle. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you spot tiny details. Some error pennies have different metal compositions. If you have a scale, check if it's slightly heavier or lighter than usual. Hold it next to a regular 2017 D penny. If something seems off, you might be onto something big. All right, let's say you hit the jackpot and find a suspicious-looking 2017 D penny. What next? Do not buy a pack of gum with it. Instead, get it professionally appraised. Reach out to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and give it a grade, which will help determine its market value. If it turns out to be the real deal, you can sell it at auction. Or if you're feeling lucky, hold onto it and see if the value climbs even higher. And there you have it, folks. The 2017 D. Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. It's proof that treasures can be hiding in the most unexpected places, even in your loose change. So, before you toss your pennies aside, take a second look. Who knows? You might just be holding a coin that could change your life. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden gem coin tips and strategies. I've got plenty more stories and insider secrets to help you uncover the rarest, most valuable coins in your collection. Hey there, coin lovers. Have you ever dug through your spare change and thought, what if I had a coin worth millions? I know I have. Picture this. You're chilling on your couch, tossing some pennies into a jar. It's just another boring afternoon, right? But hold up. What if I told you that a penny from 2020 with a D mint mark could be worth up to $1.9 million? Yes, you heard that right. 1.9 million bucks for a penny. It sounds crazy, but trust me, it's true. Stick around as I break down why this 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny could be hiding in your pocket, waiting to make you a small fortune. And believe me, if I can stumble upon valuable coins, so can you. All right, let's get into it. First off, I know what you're thinking. How could a penny from 2020 be worth millions? Aren't pennies like, well, pennies? And I get it. We've all been there. When I first started getting into coin collecting, I thought pennies were just that, pennies. But I quickly learned that some coins, like this 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, are more than meets the EY.SO. What's so special about this particular penny? The key here is rarity and an error that occurred during production. The 2020 D penny was supposed to be minted with a regular design, but some of them got released with an accidental minting flaw. This error caused a few of these coins to be highly valuable among collectors. It's the kind of mistake that adds a bit of sparkle to an otherwise standard coin, and if you happen to find one of these little guys, you could be sitting on a gold mine, so to speak. Now, let me tell you a bit about my own journey with pennies. A few years back, I was cleaning out my car, digging through the change in the console, when I stumbled upon a penny. It was just sitting there, hiding among a bunch of crumpled receipts and old candy wrappers. Nothing special about it. I thought it was just another regular penny. But for some reason, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was worth checking out. You see, I've been getting more into coins lately, so I decided to give it a quick look. I looked at the date 2015. I flipped it over and checked the mint mark. It was a D, the Denver Mint. Nothing too exciting at first. But then I noticed something on the coin's reverse side, a tiny but noticeable error. It wasn't much, just a little smudge in the design. But it was enough to make me curious, so I sent it to an expert for evaluation. It turned out that this penny was worth hundreds of dollars. It wasn't a millionaire find, but it was a pretty cool discovery. Now, I'm not saying you'll necessarily find a gold mine like that in your car, but that moment taught me a huge lesson. Always check your change, no matter how insignificant it seems. Just like my 2015 penny, the 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny might look like just another coin, but you never know. All right, let's break down exactly why the 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth $1.9 million. The answer lies in its rarity and the specific details of the minting error. The U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in 2020, but only a small batch of them contained the error. Collectors have been searching high and low for these coins, making them incredibly valuable. The flaw itself is a form of dye deterioration, which can cause subtle changes in the design. This can make some of the coins stand out from the rest, and it's exactly these types of errors that collectors are after. If you come across a 2020 D penny that has certain traits, like an unusual appearance or significant where that doesn't align with the rest of the batch, chances are you found something valuable. Finding one of these pennies in circulation is a long shot. The 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny is rare, and the ones that are in great condition are even rarer. If you do find one, though, you're looking at a potential payout in the range of $1.9 million, which makes it one of the highest valued pennies out there. The reason why collectors are willing to pay so much is simple: rarity and demand. It's like collecting vintage cars, or those rare baseball cards that everyone talks about. If you've got something that no one else can find, it becomes valuable, really valuable. So, how can you tell if your 2020 D penny is one of the special ones? First things first, make sure your penny has the D mint mark. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. If it's from the Philadelphia Mint, it won't be the right one. As mentioned earlier, the flaw comes from dye deterioration. This can show up in various forms, like a blurry or worn-out Lincoln's image on the front or other strange features on the back. If you see anything that looks off or different from the typical penny design, it could be the one. The better the condition, the more valuable it is. Look for ones that are well preserved and avoid coins that are heavily damaged or worn down. Rarity. Not all 2020 D pennies are valuable, but the rarer ones, especially those with a distinct error, are what you want to focus on. The 2020 D. Abraham Lincoln penny might just be the hidden treasure you've been searching for, and it could be sitting in your coin jar right now, waiting for you to find it. While the odds are slim, there's no harm in checking, right? After all, I didn't expect to find anything extraordinary when I was cleaning out my car, and yet, I discovered something worth hundreds of dollars. Who knows? Maybe your next trip to the corner store could turn into your $1 million moment. Before you go rushing to check your change, though, I'd like to remind you that coin collecting takes time and patience. It's not about getting rich overnight, but about learning the ins and outs of the hobby, enjoying the hunt, and maybe, even just maybe, finding that one coin that makes all the effort worth it. If you're enjoying this journey into the world of valuable coins and want more tips and strategies on how to find those hidden gems, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories, tips, and coin advice to share with you. Who knows? Maybe your next coin will be worth millions. So go ahead, check your change, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next big coin collector to strike it rich. Hey there, coin collectors. Imagine this. You're at your local coin shop, just casually browsing through some pennies, when bam, you spot a 1994 penny with no mint mark. It's in decent condition, nothing crazy special, but there's something about it that grabs your attention. You pick it up, look closer, and realize this penny could be worth $2 million. Wait, what? A penny worth $2 million bucks? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the incredibly rare 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, this coin's value is gonna blow your mind. So, stick around, because I'm about to show you how something as small and unassuming as a penny could put you on the path to becoming a serious coin collector and maybe even making a big profit. All right, before we get into the specifics, let's talk about the basics. We all know pennies, right? They're those little guys that get tossed around and dropped under couches without a second thought. But here's where things get interesting. Out of the billions of pennies minted, only a tiny fraction end up being worth anything close to a fortune. And the 1994 no mint mark penny is one of those hidden gems. It's rare, it's unique, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting for you to discover it.so. Why is this little guy so valuable? Well, let me explain. Most pennies made in 1994, like the ones you see all over the place, are stamped with a mint mark, which tells you where they were made. In 1994, there were three main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker. The Philadelphia Mint, for whatever reason, forgot to put the mint mark on some of the pennies that year. And when that happened, a mistake turned into a collector's dream. Now, you might be wondering, how rare is this mistake? Pretty rare, actually. See, most 1994 pennies have a mint mark, but the no mint mark versions are the ones that get collectors really excited. Why? Because, well, they were a production error, and it's the type of rare find that collectors go nuts for. It's like finding a lost treasure in the middle of a sea of regular old pennies. So, if you happen to have one of these in your collection, whether you found it in your change jar, pulled it from a coin roll, or even inherited it, you could be sitting on a gold mine. But, do I really have one of these rare pennies? Well, that's where the fun part comes in. Let's go through how you can check if your 1994 penny is one of the no mint mark beauties. First things first, take a look at the date. If it says 1994, then you're off to a good start. But the real magic happens when you check the reverse side of the penny, where Abraham Lincoln is hanging out. Look closely right underneath the date. Normally, you'll see a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. If there's nothing there, then congratulations, you found the elusive 1994 no mint mark penny. Oh, it's just a penny. How valuable could it be if it's a little worn out? Well, you'd be surprised. The better condition the coin is in, the more valuable it is. Coins in mint state, meaning no scratches, no wear, and as close to perfect as possible, are worth the most. But even if your 1994 penny is a little scuffed, it's still likely worth way more than a regular penny. If you've got one in good condition, you could easily see a $2 million valuation on the open market. Now, let's talk about the big money side of things. So you've got a 1994 no mint mark penny. What's it really worth? Well, as of now, this penny is valued at around $2 million. Yeah, I know it sounds insane. A penny, worth $1 million. But that's the beauty of the coin market. It's not just about how much a coin is worth in terms of face value. It's about rarity, condition, and history. There are a lot of folks out there who specialize in rare coins. These collectors are always on the lookout for these kinds of hidden treasures. And if you're lucky enough to have one of these pennies, you might just catch the eye of one of these collectors. The demand for rare coins like the 1994 no mint mark penny is strong, and the price can go up even higher, depending on the specific circumstances of the coin. Now, let me share a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale. I know, classic me. just browsing through a box of old coins that were being sold for next to nothing. Most of the stuff was junk, but I stumbled upon a few older pennies mixed in with a pile of change. I picked them up, just thinking, they might be worth a few bucks if I clean them up a bit. Turns out, one of those pennies was a 1969 S double die, worth thousands of dollars. I'll be honest, I had no idea at the time. I just thought it was a cool find. But when I got home, I did some research, and sure enough, I realized I had a valuable coin on my hands. I couldn't believe it. It wasn't a $1 million coin, but it was a good reminder that you never know what's hiding in your spare change. The same could be true for you. That 1994 no-mint mark penny you've been casually ignoring might just be worth $2 million bucks, and you wouldn't even know it until you take the time to check. So, if you've got a 1994 penny with no mint mark sitting in your collection, don't just throw it in a jar and forget about it. Take a closer look, because it could be worth a fortune. And even if you don't have one yet, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you'll stumble upon one of these rare coins. Before you head out on your next coin hunting adventure, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've got more tips, strategies, and coin collecting secrets to share with you that could help you find your own hidden treasures. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big discovery. So, hit that subscribe button and join the community of collectors who are always on the lookout for the next big find. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into even more coins worth way more than you think. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Now, I know you've probably heard a thing or two about rare coins, but trust me when I tell you, this one will blow your mind. Have you ever looked at a simple penny and thought, could this little thing actually be worth a fortune? Well, hold onto your seats, because today we're talking about the 1996 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, and it's got a jaw-dropping market value of $2.1 million. Yep, you heard me right, $2.1 million for a penny. It's not a typo, and I'm not messing with you. Stick around to find out how this small, humble coin went from being just another penny in your pocket to a collector's dream. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, but wait, I've got a bunch of pennies lying around in my drawer, and none of them are worth anything close to that. Well, that's where the fun begins. Today, we're diving into what makes this particular penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and why it might be hiding in plain sight in your own collection. So, grab your coffee, and let's dive into the world of rare pennies, and remember, if you've got one of these in your pocket, you could be sitting on a small fortune. All right, let's kick things off by talking about what makes the 1996 D. Abraham Lincoln penny so special. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny. It's copper-colored, it's got Lincoln's face on it, and you probably wouldn't think twice about tossing it into your change jar. But oh boy, there's a twist. The key to its insane value lies in a rare minting error. You see, back in 1996, the U.S. Mint produced the regular batch of pennies, but some of the coins that rolled off the presses had a unique characteristic, a slight misstrike in the design. This misstrike led to the creation of a small number of pennies that are significantly more valuable than the rest. So while most 1996 D pennies are worth a mere cent, literally, those with this misstrike can fetch upwards of $2.10 million. I know, it sounds like something out of a treasure hunt story. But before you go diving into your coin jar, let's break down the specifics of what makes this penny so valuable. There are a couple of things you need to look for. First, the date should be 1996, and it should have the D mint mark, which stands for Denver. That's your starting point. But the real key to its worth lies in the misstrike. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was at a coin show, just casually browsing around, as you do when you're a total coin nerd. I was talking with a vendor who was showing me some of his rare finds when, out of the corner of my eye, I spotted it, a 1996 D penny that had that misstrike we're talking about. I immediately did a double take, and my heart skipped a beat. This penny had that distinct look. The design was a bit off-center, with Lincoln's head slightly tilted. At first, I thought, no way, this can't be the one. But after a closer inspection, I realized it was. Now, I didn't have $2.1 million lying around at the time. Who does, right? But that moment made me realize just how easy it is for these little treasures to slip through the cracks. I'll admit, I found myself looking through my own coin jar more than a few times after that, hoping for another lucky find. And let me tell you, it's not just the obvious errors that make these coins valuable. Sometimes, it's those subtle little misprints that make all the difference. Finding a 1996 D penny with that kind of error isn't as easy as just walking into a store and grabbing a handful of change. These coins are incredibly rare, and the ones that make it to the market are usually in mint condition. So how do you know if you've got one of these pennies? Well, besides the obvious misstrike, you'll also want to check for signs of wear and tear. The more pristine the coin, the higher the value. So, if your penny looks like it's been through the wash a few times or has a couple of scratches, it's probably not going to hit the $2.1 million mark. But hey, even a slightly worn coin could still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. So don't give up hope just yet. Once you find one of these rare coins, you've got some options. You could hold onto it, hoping its value continues to rise, or you could sell it to a collector who's been searching high and low for a gem like this. Either way, it's a win. But the real key is knowing what you've got and not letting that coin slip through your fingers. Great, I've got all these pennies, but how do I tell the difference between a regular one and one that's worth a fortune? Well, here's a quick pro tip. If you're serious about coin collecting, you should get yourself a good magnifying glass. Trust me, you'll be amazed at the details you can see up close. Look for things like uneven strikes, off-center designs, or any signs that the coin's not perfectly round. These tiny imperfections can be huge indicators of value. And don't be afraid to ask for help. There's a whole community of collectors out there who would love to give you tips or help you identify that hidden treasure in your coin jar. All right, folks, now that you know what makes the 1996 the Abraham Lincoln penny worth $2.1 million, I've got a favor to ask. If you found this video helpful and are now itching to go through your own coin collection, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips and tricks on finding rare coins. You never know when that next big find could be waiting right under your nose. And trust me, there's nothing more exciting than the rush of discovering a rare coin that's worth more than you ever imagined. So, what are you waiting for? Grab that magnifying glass, start searching through your old pennies, and who knows, you might just become the next person to find $1 million penny. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more amazing tips on how to spot coins worth big money. All right, folks, let's play a little game. What if I told you that a simple penny, the kind you probably walked past in a parking lot today, could be worth a whopping $2.2 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around because today, we're diving deep into the 1986 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a little coin with a giant price tag. Now, before we get into the juicy details, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, just browsing through some old trinkets when I saw a dusty jar labeled Random Change, $5. Being the coin nerd that I am, I bought it without a second thought. I took it home, dumped it out, and started sorting through. And guess what? I found an old wheat penny worth about $50. Not life-changing. But hey, that jar paid for itself 10 times over. Ever since then, I always check my change. And let me tell you, that little habit could make you a millionaire if you know what to look for. So, what's the big deal with this penny? It's just another copper-coated zinc coin, right? Wrong. This particular 1986 penny is special because it's missing something crucial, a mint mark. Normally, pennies struck in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but there's a very specific error that makes this one different. It was struck using a proof die, a high-quality die meant for proof sets, but accidentally ended up in circulation. Now, let's talk about what that means for you. These error coins are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay insane amounts of money for them. The last known sale of one of these pennies? A jaw-dropping $2.2 million. That's right, a tiny, 1-cent piece sold for the price of a mansion. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but how do I find one? Great question. I'll look under the date. If there's no little letter, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, you're off to a good start. Because this penny was struck with a proof die, it should have crisp, well-defined details, almost like it was made for a special set. This is a dead giveaway. Proof dies leave a mirror-like shine on the coin. If you think you've got one, don't just throw it in your piggy bank. Get it checked out by a professional coin grading service. Why on earth would someone drop millions on a penny? Well, in the world of rare coins, errors and unique pieces drive collectors wild. It's like owning a rare baseball card or an original Picasso. The more unique, the more valuable. And when only a handful exist, collectors will pay top dollar to own one. Check your pennies. The next time you get change at the store, don't just toss it in a drawer. Take a second to look. Because who knows? You might just be holding on to a tiny fortune without even realizing it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and tricks on spotting valuable coins, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. All right, folks, imagine this. You're at the grocery store, you get some change back, and in that handful of pennies sits one that could make you a millionaire. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, wake up, because today we're talking about a 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $2.3 million. That's not pocket change. That's life-changing money. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions or raiding your old piggy bank, let's break down what makes this penny so special, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, how you can turn it into a small fortune. But first, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. And trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. So, picture this. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, and I found a few pennies stuck in that weird spot between the seats. You know, where loose change, lost French fries, and the occasional mystery object go to disappear. I grabbed the coins and almost tossed them into the nearest coin jar without a second thought. But then, something caught my eye. One of them looked a little off. It had a strange color, the details seemed sharper, and the surface had this odd shimmer. Being the coin nerd that I am, I took a closer look, and good thing I did. That penny wasn't just any old penny. It was an error coin worth a couple $100. Now, it wasn't life-changing money, but it was enough to make me double-check every coin I came across. And that, my friends, is why you should always take a second look at your change. The 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. What exactly makes this coin so special? First, let's talk about the missing mint mark. Most pennies have a small letter on them, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But in rare cases, a batch of coins is struck without a mint mark, making them incredibly rare. This 2005 penny is one of those anomalies. The next thing to check is the condition. If you happen to find a 2005 no mint mark penny, you need to look at its details. The sharper and cleaner the strike, the better. Coins in pristine condition, graded as MS 68 or higher, are where the big bucks come in. And let's talk about why this one is worth $2.3 million. Some collectors believe this penny was part of a rare misprint batch, possibly an experimental strike that never should have made it into circulation. Others say it's a unique die error that resulted in an incredibly well-defined coin. Either way, this is the kind of coin that hardcore collectors will pay serious money for. Now, let's say you think you've got one. What do you do next? First, don't go spending it on a soda. Instead, get it checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will authenticate your coin, give it an official grade, and determine just how valuable it really is. And let's be real. Even if you don't find the million-dollar penny, looking through your change can still be a fun and rewarding hobby. Plus, the next time someone tries to tell you that pennies are useless, you can hit them with this story and watch their jaw drop. All right, coin hunters, now you know what to look for. That 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be sitting right in your pocket, just waiting to change your life. So, before you dump your change into a vending machine, give it a second glance. You might just be holding a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn about the hidden gems in your pocket change. And if you've ever found a valuable coin before, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Imagine this. You're digging through some loose change at the coffee shop, about to hand over a penny for tax, and boom, that tiny copper coin in your palm is actually worth $2.4 million. Sounds insane, right? But guess what? It's 100% real, and today, I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for in a 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. Now, before we dive into the details, let me tell you a quick personal story. A couple of years ago, I found a 1983 double-die penny in an old jar of coins. I thought, it's just a penny. But I took a closer look, did some research, and turns out that thing was worth over $1,000. Since then, I've never looked at a penny the same way again. And trust me, after today, you won't either. So, stick around, because I'm about to break down what makes this 2013 Lincoln penny so valuable and how you can find one yourself. All right, let's get into it. First things first. Why is the 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a whopping $2.4 million? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error that occurred in Philadelphia. Normally, these pennies have a small P or D mark indicating where they were minted. But in 2013, a small batch was struck without any mint mark, making them incredibly rare. Now, let's talk about what to look for. You'll want to inspect your 2013 pennies carefully. The most obvious giveaway is the missing mint mark. Flip your penny over and look right below the date. If there's nothing there, you could be looking at a winner. These rare pennies were struck with an exceptionally sharp die, meaning Lincoln's beard, hair, and coat should be highly detailed. While all 2013 pennies are supposed to be copper-plated zinc, some error coins were struck on older copper planchets, giving them a deeper, richer color. A normal 2013 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If yours is closer to 3.1 grams, you might have a valuable one on your hands. Now, let's talk money. If you do find one of these rare pennies, how much can you expect to make? Well, as of now, the highest sale recorded for a pristine example was $2.4 million at auction. Even lower-grade versions of this coin can sell for thousands. And the best part? These coins are still out there, hiding in piggy banks, junk drawers, and that cup holder in your car packed with spare change. Now, if you're wondering where to get your coins checked and appraised, here's what you should do. Take your potential jackpot penny to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify its authenticity and grade, which will significantly impact its final value. Oh, and word of advice, don't clean the coin. That can actually decrease its worth. So, let's do a quick recap. If you've got a 2013 Lincoln penny, check for that missing mint mark, sharp details, and weight. If it matches the criteria, congratulations, you might just be holding on to $1 million coin. Before you go running to check your loose change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always dropping tips on valuable coins, hidden rarities, and the best coin collecting strategies to help you make the most of your collection. Who knows? The next time you find a penny on the ground, it could be worth a fortune. All right, folks, let's talk about something that might just make your heart skip a beat the next time you check your spare change. Imagine digging through a pile of pennies, expecting nothing but pocket change, and then bam! You realize one of those little copper coins is worth $2.50 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the rarest and most valuable modern pennies out there. And let me tell you, if you're not checking your coins yet, by the end of this video, you'll be flipping over every penny you see like you're hunting for buried treasure. I remember the first time I got into coin collecting. It all started when I was a kid, and my grandpa handed me a jar of old pennies. "There's treasure in here," he said. Of course, being young and clueless, I thought he meant actual gold coins, not some old pennies with Abraham Lincoln's face. Fast forward a few decades, and here I am, talking to you about a penny that could make you a millionaire. Turns out, Grandpa was onto something. So stick with me, because we're about to uncover everything you need to know about this ultra-rare penny, from why it's so valuable to how you can spot one in your own collection. You might be wondering, what's the big deal with this penny? It's just a regular old Lincoln cent, right? Well, not exactly. The 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is special because it wasn't supposed to exist the way it does. Most pennies from this year were minted in Philadelphia, no-mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But a small number of 2004 pennies were struck under unique circumstances, leading to extreme rarity and mind-blowing value. Here's where things get interesting. Some experts believe these rare pennies may have been test strikes, errors, or even coins accidentally struck on the wrong planchet. Whatever the reason, only a few of these pennies have ever surfaced, and when they do, collectors go absolutely crazy. The lack of a mint mark isn't unusual for Philadelphia minted pennies. But these rare 2004 no-mint mark pennies exhibit characteristics that set them apart, like an unusual metal composition, misalignment in the strike, or unique die markings. Now for the part you've been waiting for. How much can you get for one of these bad boys? Well, buckle up, because the current market value of this penny is a staggering $2.50 million. That's right. One tiny, unassuming penny could buy you a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers, if that's your thing. The value comes from its extreme rarity and the high demand among collectors willing to pay top dollar for a chance to own one. So, how can you tell if you have one of these ultra-rare pennies hiding in your loose change? Mark. This alone doesn't confirm it's the rare one, but it's the first step. Odd weight or composition. If the penny feels different, get it checked. Look for off-center strikes, doubling, or any odd textures. If you suspect you've got something special, take it to a professional for verification. Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck it rich. A few years back, I was going through an old jar of pennies, and I found a 2004 penny with no mint mark. My hands started shaking. I was already planning my dream vacation, picturing myself sipping drinks on a tropical beach. I rushed to get it checked out, only to find out it was just a regular old penny. Yep, no magic $1 million payday for me that day. But hey, at least I got a good story out of it. And now I check every single penny I come across, just in case. The story of the 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to make someone an instant millionaire. If you haven't been checking your pocket change, now's the time to start. Who knows? That penny you tossed in your cup holder might just be your golden ticket. And if you want more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and hidden treasures in everyday change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more mind-blowing coin stories coming your way, and you won't want to miss a single one.